Hi, good evening. My name is Chris Thornley. I'm the chairman of the Department of Health. It's approximately 6:08 on September 11th of 2024. We're calling to order the meeting of the Board of Health for this evening. This is being recorded in real time, and the meeting is being held in real time with the current attendance being shown on screen. Public is permitted to view this and or remain anonymous and or chime in at any time. Again, as everybody knows, please be um, wait for somebody to stop talking because the system will only allow one thing at a time to be recorded, voice wise. So at this point, um, we're going to move right along our agenda here. We obviously have no public participating this evening as normal. We will move to approve the minutes. Um, I read them. I certainly motion to approve. Um,
I
Mike,
second.
okay. Second, Michael.
Third.
Okay, great. So that carries unanimous. At this point, um, I just had a couple of questions about our last meeting, which was obviously quite a long time ago. Um, in review of said minutes, I was just looking at things that kind of reminded me of some questions that I had for you, Amy.
Hmm.
Um, the food service now allowing renewals to be done electronically and on paper and credit cards, so forth. How is that working for you guys? Is it helping? Is it hindering? Is it doing anything
So I
kind of stuff?
actually stuck that under new business because there's been a change since our March meeting.
Oh, okay. All right.
So do you want me to go into it now?
So we can go ahead and table it for now
Okay.
and go during that. Um,
And do you like you sent me the questions, so I kind of incorporated them into my director's report.
Okay. All right. So you know what? Why don't you just go ahead, Ben?
And that
Let's
way, if I
rock and
miss
roll.
anything, you can let me know. But
Absolutely. Go ahead.
so for the director of health report, we participated in the Jockey Hollow Health Fair in April. That's at the middle school. We had displays about sugar and teenagers' favorite beverages. We had a 5 pound thing of fat that the kids find fascinating. And we had some tick specimens and a health jeopardy. In our March meeting, we were talking about the job description for the sanitary and health program planner. That was all approved, and our sanitary and health program planner position was filled in the beginning of June. Kelsey McCarthy, who had been working for the health department since last summer, under the ELC2 grant as a health educator, slid over into the new sanitary and health program planner position. It was seamless. She's doing great. She's attending classes and working on her sanitarian certificate. And once she's obtained all of her certifications, she'll be able to move into the sanitary and health program planner 2 position. So that was that one.
That's
We
awesome.
participate. Yeah, so we're very excited, and it's actually worked out so well. It's a nice hybrid position that kind of gives her the freedom and flexibility to do a little bit of everything and kind of fill the gaps where we need it the most.
Okay,
Uh,
cool.
yep.
Cool.
So in July, we participated in the farmers market, and we did some uh, information on ticks, sun and UV protection. We also promoted our CHNA survey, which I'll get into in a few minutes, and the fact that we have a new Instagram page. So if you're not following us on Instagram, you can go find us there. We also participated in the police night out in August. That was great. We did the same presentation we had done at the farmers market with UV and ticks. We have another time at the farmers market set up for next week, and we're super excited for this one. We've partnered with York Analytical Laboratories and we'll be offering well water testing at a discounted rate. You'll be able to pick up the bottles at the health department starting on Monday. You can either drop them off at the lab or bring them to the farmers market on Friday and drop them off to the lab who will be there on Friday. So we are super excited for that and hope that a lot of the residents will take advantage of that program.
And how much is that going to cost for the residents?
The basic test is $90, and then the other tests are discounted a certain percentage as well.
Okay. And does that cost us anything as a town?
Nope, nothing
No?
at all. Just the
Okay.
time that Kelsey and I will be at the farmers market next week, so we'll be
Okay.
there as well.
All right. Awesome.
Um, so it was a perfect kind of partnership on that one.
Yeah.
Farmers market licensing went well. We were using an online Google form that Kelly Blunkett had created. We are going to try to work and transition that to the new OpenGov that I'll talk about later for next year and make it even more streamlined. So
Yeah.
the CH and
Sorry, I was just gonna say how great the numbers really looked for that. I mean, the numbers just kept going up and up and up all as the season progressed.
yeah, that farmers market is enormous.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
I
and
drive by it every Friday on my way home, and it looks jam-packed every week.
yeah, we went to Pickle Fest. We were at the Pickle Fest in July, and now we get to go to Tater Fest next week. So we've kind of hit like the key festivals. So we've had a really great turnout and we've talked to a lot of people, which has been fun.
Awesome.
So we are just finishing up our community health needs assessment, or our CHNA, which is a requirement from the state of Connecticut. We partner with what's called the Health Improvement Alliance. That is out of the greater Bridgeport area. That is Bridgeport Hospital, St. Vincent's Hospital, as well as 7 municipalities and some other partners. We're kind of the farthest one out. So our 2022 numbers when we did the CHNA were terrible and super disappointing. So we have pushed really hard at the health department to get more residents talking to the people who are running the CHNA and the consultants. So we did a online survey that was available from June until August. We had 170 residents participate, which was just around 1% of the population, which is actually kind of where I was hoping. So it was good. They answered questions about things like mental health, access to care, and other public health issues. We held a focus group on Monday at EMS for the same reason. We had about 12 residents participate in that, so that was also really great. And then these results are going to be combined with the phone surveys that Data Haven does as part of their contract with HIA. And that's about 50 residents. So they'll take all of this different information and put it together and come up with our CHNA as well as our CHIP, or our Community Health Improvement Plan. That is done as a greater Bridgeport region, but we will be able to have, hopefully this year, some results called out specifically for Monroe. And we can use those results to design and implement some programming to fit some of those needs and deficiencies that were noted during that. So we're really crossing our fingers that we got some good data this year and we're able to use that information. And
Cool.
if I talk too fast, just tell me.
No, so far so good as far as I'm concerned. It all sounds like a lot of really great positive stuff that you guys have been doing.
We're trying. We did go
I
to a
think
bunch
you're
of training.
succeeding.
I like to think so.
I'd like to think
Um,
so as well.
we went to a bunch of trainings this spring. It was actually really busy. Trauma response training, a social media emergency preparedness training, cultural awareness training, and then I also attended ICS 300 and 400, which is all part of emergency preparedness. So fun. And on a really good note, Barbara is a superstar and has completed all the scanning that had been started prior to me coming, as well as additional scanning that I came up with when I got here for all septic as-built and well completion reports. And it's our permits to discharge, I think are almost done, or we're on the last letter of the alphabet. So if you go into the GIS for the town, you'll be able to see all of those for all parcels in the town that we have information for. So that's more publicly available, easier access for realtors and anyone else who's looking for it.
Great job, Barbara.
Thank you.
No,
Uh,
no small undertaking there.
no, it was huge.
Yeah, and I remember talking to Nancy about it, years ago when we first started doing this, and Nancy was just like, "Oh my God, I can't believe how big this is. I can't believe how much stuff this is." And it's taken a while, but congratulations, guys. That's big. That's a good job.
Thank you.
It was all Barbara. So, um, for our environmental health activity report for last fiscal year, we were pretty much on track with our routine inspections. Soil testing and subsurface sewage disposal activities were busy in the spring because we had a very booming house market going on. So we were quite busy for that. For this fiscal year, we have been slow. House sales apparently stopped in July, and so we have not seen as much soil testing or permits being pulled. Hopefully now, as the summer is over, we're starting to see a few more permits coming in, so that is good news.
So,
That
all right. So my questions are, let me get to the right page so I can actually speak to you with some kind of, nope, that's not the one I want. Revenue health, 24, 25. Must be this one. Yeah, 23, 24. I was kind of wondering, because I was looking at the like the B100s and how they kind of fell off the face of the earth.
right.
And then the site visits obviously were significantly lower, and a lot of this, not all of the septic stuff, but just looking at all the septic stuff to close out 2024, the beginning of the spring and summer are normally like big numbers for that kind of stuff, and it looked very low to me.
Yeah, so part of the B100A number discrepancy is because Nancy and I had a bit of a different philosophy on that.
Okay.
And so we don't have there's a lot of times where we will just help the homeowner and do the design ourselves with data that we have in the file so that they don't have to go through the expense of hiring somebody. There's
Okay.
other times where they may have been charged in the past for the B100A, but they had already had it done, so they were charged multiple times for the same piece of paper. And so I've kind of stopped that. So if they've already had one done and it's in the file, they don't have to pay for it again because it's already there and been reviewed. So that's part of why that number has dropped a lot.
Okay.
Um, I also don't know what we were doing, what the B100A site visits were for. So I think it's probably why there's so few of those. Those are probably just times we stopped out for something quick. And the market was booming up until the school year ended, and then our numbers really dropped. I mean, July and August were really quiet.
Okay. That kind of, okay. Yeah, and the septic plan reviews even for new residential was, I mean, obviously the numbers are not really big to begin with. It's only, we did 11 versus 17. But again, that's normally very like spring
Hmm.
type stuff, and it didn't seem like there was a whole lot of that going.
No, we kind of had a lull. We were busier, and then it stopped. Not a whole lot we can do about it. It's kind of market
No, I
dependent.
mean, it's all market driven. I kind of
Yeah.
understand that, but it just seemed kind of strange. But the B100 thing
Um,
really fell off. That's why I wanted to
Yeah,
ask
so
that.
part of that is just a difference of philosophy, and
Okay.
just that I hate recharging people for something they already paid for.
Yep. No, I
So,
totally agree with that. Okay. Continue, s'il vous plaît.
okay, revenue report. For last fiscal year, all license fees were received for pools, food service, farmers market, and the Strawberry Festival. So those were all done, and we exceeded our proposed revenue for the last fiscal year, not by a lot, but by something. So that was good.
Yep.
And we're working on this year's fiscal year. So we haven't gotten to anything major for licensing yet, so we won't have any major numbers until the spring.
Yeah, all the numbers looked pretty good to me. I mean, we were obviously over in food service, and we were over in, salon stuff. So, great job for getting all that stuff done and in.
Yeah, no, that was good. So that was the revenue. So the grant update, our ELC2 COVID grant, the final grant funds were used the first week of June. The final reports were submitted in July. So that grant is officially closed. The Public Health Emergency Preparedness Grant is starting its new 5-year cycle, so it just came back into around July 1st, but the contracts weren't received until September because we love the state health department. So that contract was just signed by Terry today. It went back out to Ledgelight Health District, who runs our region, and hopefully we'll get that all taken care of and signed by October and start spending the funds in October. And then our workforce development grant runs through 2027, and we've begun to spend some of the funds on trainings and some staffing changes.
All right, digging it.
Any other questions under the Director of Health discussion items?
No, not for me.
Did I answer all the questions you had sent me? I tried to work them in.
I think so.
Okay.
I think you did.
All right. So the only unfinished business I saw was that we talked about the fee schedule last time. The new
Mm-hmm.
fee schedule went into effect on July 1st. All the new forms are available on our website with the correctly updated fees. And we had done, or I had done, a fee review last fall when I had presented the new fees to the board.
Mm-hmm.
And so I figure we'll probably won't do another fee assessment until next year or the year after to see where we were. But as of last year, the only fees that weren't in line with the other municipalities were the ones we had changed.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was something you wanted to do on a yearly basis. Obviously, most of the time, the stuff that we changed, we were talking about $5 and $10 kinds of stuff. So it wasn't like any kind of huge amount of dollar difference. So it
Yeah.
was more of just to like kind of stay in line, and certainly small little increments are easier to swallow than some big ka-chunk kind of thing.
Right. And one of the things we had changed last time was the subdivision plan review, and we've already charged multiple people for that one.
Okay.
So that one actually worked out really well. And definitely is helpful to reflect the amount of time we spend on those. And then under new business, I added OpenGov. So we had been working with Laserfish last year in March when we did our food licensing, but the town has now decided to go with OpenGov as of July. So we've been working with OpenGov. It's actually been fantastic. I'm super excited. I'm kind of getting nerdy into all of this now and creating all of our forms. So we will be able to take all food licenses, pool licenses, cosmetology, septic, temporary, farmers market. We can take everything online and take credit card payment, or you can still pay by cash or check. But all of it will be able to be done electronically from whoever's applying's house or phone or wherever. And hopefully that will help streamline some of this and maybe avoid some late fees that we keep having to charge for our temporaries because they keep forgetting to get their stuff here. So we are anticipating as of this afternoon, meeting I had, that we may be able to launch earlier than the rest of the town since the health department is kind of ahead, and do a launch in December for our cosmetology and salon licensing. If not, it would be the beginning of next year, right before our food licensing. So either way, our licensing for the next year will be on OpenGov now.
Okay. Now, are there costs involved for that for the town?
Yes, that went through council at the end of June,
Okay.
but no cost to the health department budget.
Okay. It's just like a line item on the town budget then.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it fell under a department, so I think it must be in just the general town side.
General budget number. Okay. All right. What else you got, Miss Amy?
That was it.
Okay.
So I don't know what questions or anything you guys have.
I don't have any as of now.
Yeah. Okay. I don't have anything else. Everything seemed to go all the numbers and so forth seem pretty good. Actually, the only other small question I had was the this one. No, that's not what I thought it was. Oh, um, with the hiring of, oh geez, I forgot her name already.
Healthy.
Yes, that we're kind of moving along through the system to kind of get her into more into the sanitarian role. So once she does whatever courses, classes, certifications, or what have you that she's doing currently, is that going to then be able to qualify her to sit for whatever type of, board examination kind of thing to actually go do inspections and so forth?
Yep. So what we did when we redid the job descriptions were because the job existed as a sanitarian, but I didn't feel the need for that. So we kind of hybrid it based actually on New Canaan, who I happen to be friends with, and stole their job description. So the position she's in now is
Borrow.
borrowed and made better. The position she's in now is kind of a entry level position so that you can do a little bit of everything and then take the time to get the certifications. And the certifications that she needs to get in order to progress to the next level would be her food certification, so she can do food inspections, her phase 1 and phase 2 septic and certifications. She already has phase 1. She's sitting for phase 2 in October. Her lead certifications, which she got in June. So once she gets those certifications, she'll get bumped up into that next position. And that is a higher pay rate. And that position, once she's in it, she would then be able to sit for the registered sanitarian, which is not a job requirement, but which is where a lot of the sanitarians go. So at any one time, there is only one position, but that position can have two different titles depending on where they are in the certifications. I really wanted to build, and Craig agreed to build something into that position to give people an incentive to get those certifications.
I like it. I do like it. All right. Okay. Anybody else have anything that, Mary Beth, anything?
No, but this was great. All made
I'm good.
sense to me. Lot to
Okay.
learn, but I'll figure it out.
Well, it's a learning process. I'm
Yeah.
sure you'll do fine. Okay. So, all right. I guess at this point we have nothing further to publicly discuss, so I will motion to adjourn the meeting at 6:31.